Death was breathing down John Constantine's neck. The tremors were becoming more frequent, and he couldn't even open his pack of cigarettes. He passed by his father's grave, whom he had tried to kill. He visited his sister. She noticed he was in bad shape, but John lied to her, saying it was just the flu. She was glad to see him. She hoped Constantine would also want to see his niece Gemma, but he refused. He mentioned that this was a goodbye and he wasn't coming back. They remained silent for a moment until she dared to ask if this farewell had anything to do with his work. She never wanted to know too much about that. Was she afraid of it? And Constantine told her that all the spells and demons were just a bunch of rubbish. There was nothing to be afraid of. They both hugged with tears in their eyes, and Constantine only asked her to send his regards to Gemma. He was too much of a coward to say goodbye, and then he left. He took a train to London, where Chas was waiting for him. At first, everything seemed fine, even though Chas noticed how gaunt John looked. For his part, the detective just made fun of his friend's little car. The last time they saw each other, things didn't end very well. Chas had to sell his car and borrow money from someone dangerous to buy this piece of junk. Constantine kept criticizing him for that, and Chas got furious about the way he was treated. Every time, always asking him for free rides, involving him in dangerous matters he had no idea about. His anger didn't escalate. John reached his destination and left as if nothing had happened. As his figure walked away, Chas called him a bastard. Then he noticed that Constantine had left something on the seat. It was a letter and some money. In Liverpool, the bookies don't know me. With this, you'll have enough for a new cab and a little extra as compensation for all your favors. I never liked having to drag you along with me, saying you owed me one. I've done that with too many people. Well, you can count on yourself because we won't see each other again. I've screwed over one bastard too many, and I don't think I'll get out of this one. It's a shame. I'm writing to you on the train from Liverpool because I felt like an idiot saying this to your face. But it's been a pleasure meeting you, Chas, and I'm proud to call you my mate. I'm glad we're saying goodbye as friends. Chin up, kid. That night, John felt that death was about to catch up with him. He was sure of it. It was just a matter of hours. He went to the hospital one last time to say goodbye to Matt, although before the sad farewell, they chatted for a while as usual. This veteran had a dark sense of humor that John liked. He insulted the doctors, the nurses, and made fun of his own cancer. They laughed for a while, but it was time to leave. Constantine said he wouldn't come back and apologized for it. Matt stood up for a moment. He told his friend that there was no need to apologize, thanked him for the visits and the gifts, shook his hand, and advised him to do whatever he needed to do. Never, in anyone's mind, it wasn't something worth it. Constantine went to an old apartment where the evil he left behind still echoed in the walls. It was a good place, an abandoned spot. No one would come in or see anything he was about to do. He drew a pentagram on the floor and lit the candles. He was ready to perform an invocation. The flames appeared and the room darkened. It was the second of the three who spoke from hell. He had never faced John Constantine before, but the detective's reputation preceded him, even in the underworld. John was blunt. He said he called him for business. The second listened to the offer and accepted. Then he left. Constantine took a few minutes to catch his breath. He cleaned the floor, drew another pentagram, and used new candles to hide the scent and the trace of the second. Only then did he call the third of the three. This entity usually changes shape every moment into grotesque forms. John is forced to endure the nausea, and after a few minutes he is able to close the deal. Every minute he seemed about to faint. He couldn't allow himself to. He took out the wine he took from Brendan Finn's house. He took one last drink, toasting to his friend, also to Chas, to his other friends, even to those who were no longer around. Also to his sister, his father, and finally to himself because he deserved it and because he had done things his own way. He took a deep breath and the time had come. His heart was pounding like a machine gun and he felt like time was running out. He took out a small blade and cut his veins while screaming in pain and falling to the ground. Now he was in the presence of the first of the three. Constantine had only 5 minutes to live before bleeding out, but Satan didn't care about cancer or suicide. That was the least of his concerns. Soon he would have that filthy soul in his hands to punish it for the rest of eternity, so he just stayed there, watching,